NATO Secretary-General Mark Rutte warned Russia on Wednesday that the alliance would always stand by Poland or any other member and that its reaction to an attack would be devastating. According to Associated Press, Rutte spoke during a visit to Warsaw, the Polish capital, in brief comments made alongside Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk. If anyone were to miscalculate and think they can get away with an attack on Poland or any other ally, they will be met with the full force of this fierce alliance, Rutte said. Tusk said it was important to be prepared for any outcome of talks between Russia and the United States aimed at ending the three-year-old war in Ukraine. NATO members along the eastern flank of the 32-member alliance, particularly Poland and the Baltic states, are extremely worried that the talks could end with a settlement that is favorable to Russia. They fear such an outcome would allow Russian President Vladimir Putin to rebuild his country's forces and threaten other countries in the region in the coming years.
Dzień dobry Państwu. Zapraszam na oświadczenia po spotkaniu sekretarza generalnego NATO Marka Rutte i prezesa Rady Ministrów Donalda Tuska. Panie premierze, bardzo proszę.
Dla wszystkich jest jasne, że sytuacja w Ukrainie bezpośrednio wpływa na bezpieczeństwo i Polski, i Europy, więc niczego tutaj nie trzeba jeszcze uzasadniać. Ale biorąc pod uwagę to, że w tej chwili toczą się rozmowy, negocjacje, a powiedzmy szczerze, nasz wpływ na te negocjacje jest ograniczony, powiem delikatnie. Więc musimy tym bardziej jako NATO, my jako Polska, być przygotowani na scenariusze, które nie są przez nas w 100% pisane. W związku z tym bezpieczeństwo Polski, pełna solidarność NATO, wiara w to, wiara i pewność i gwarancje, że artykuł 5, a więc ta gwarancja, że jeden za wszystkich, wszyscy za jednego, że to pozostaje w mocy. Wiadomo, Stany Zjednoczone, nasz najbliższy sojusznik w Polsce, to jest odwieczna, można powiedzieć, tradycja i cieszę się, że nasze relacje ze Stanami Zjednoczonymi, niezależnie od tego, władza się zmienia w Polsce, wiadomo, wybory, ale relacje ze Stanami Zjednoczonymi są bardzo stabilne i bardzo dobre. Wynika to także z tego, że Polska jest tym państwem natowskim, które naprawdę inwestuje w swoją obronę, naprawdę inwestuje w NATO. Ja zresztą powiem wprost, kto bardziej niż Polska zasługuje na pełne wsparcie i pełne gwarancje ze strony NATO?
Poland has been a vital and much valued ally for 26 years, and you continue to lead by example. With 4.7% of GDP pledged for defense this year, Poland's defense expenditure is the highest now among NATO allies. In an increasingly dangerous world, boosting defense spending is essential. Let's not forget that Russia is and is remaining the most significant and direct threat to our alliance. Let's not forget that Russia is moving into a wartime economy, and that will have a huge impact on their capacity and capability to build their armed forces. Let me be absolutely clear, dear Donald. When it comes to the defense of Poland and the general defense of NATO territory, if anyone were to miscalculate and think they can get away with an attack on Poland or on any other ally, they will be met with the full force of this fierce alliance. Our reaction will be devastating. This has to be very clear to Vladimir Putin and anyone else who wants to attack us here.
Dziękuję bardzo. Dziękujemy Panu.
CIA Director John Ratcliffe said Tuesday that no classified information was included in texts about U.S. war plans that were sent to a journalist. According to Associated Press, the National Security Council said it is looking into how a journalist's number was added to the chain in the Signal group chat, which included information about U.S. plans to strike Yemen. In addition to Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Ratcliffe, it included Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Tulsi Gabbard, Trump's Director of National Intelligence. Democrats have said the leaked military plans show a sloppy disregard for security, but Ratcliffe said no rules were violated. My communications, to be clear, in the Signal message group were entirely permissible and lawful and did not include classified information, Ratcliffe told lawmakers during a Senate hearing on global security threats. During heated questions from Senator Mark Warner, Democrat Virginia, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard said there's a difference between inadvertent releases of information and intentional leaks. There was no classified material that was shared, Gabbard said.
I'm going to go back to what I addressed at the outset. I mean, this was not only sloppy, it not only violated all procedures, but if this information had gotten out, American lives could have been lost. The Houthis had this information, could reposition their defensive systems. So I want to get a little more information about this. Director Gabbard, did you participate in the group chat with Secretary of Defense and other Trump senior officials discussing the Yemen war plans?
Senator, I don't want to get into the specifics.
Ma'am, were you on? You're not going to be willing to address. So you're not, are you denying, Matt, will you answer my question, ma'am? You were not TG on this group chat?
I'm not going to get into the specifics.
So you refuse to acknowledge whether you were on this group chat?
Senator, I'm not going to get into the specifics.
Why are you going to get into the specifics? Is it because it's all classified?
Because this is currently under review by the National Security Council.
Because it's all classified? If it's not classified, share the text now.
As the White House previously
stated, is it classified or non-classified information on this text?
I can confirm.
Director Ratcliffe, were you on the group chat?
Senator, I was on a Signal messaging group.
So you were the John Ratcliffe on that chat?
I was.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I provide some context, Senator, to that?
Yes, but I've got a series of questions.
Well, but I think it's important because at the outset you made a couple of comments about Signal messaging using encrypted apps. So that we're clear, one of the first things that happened when I was confirmed as CIA director was Signal was loaded onto my computer at the CIA, as it is for most CIA officers. One of the things that I was briefed on very early, Senator, was by the CIA records management folks about the use of Signal as a permissible work use. It is. That is a practice that preceded the current administration to the Biden administration.
Director Ratcliffe, I've got a series of questions. If you're making the statement, making the statement, the Signal is a secure channel.
No, can I answer that? It is.
Sir, I've got a series of
encryption. So
it is.
To finish,
I understand encryption.
It is permissible to use to communicate and coordinate for work purposes, provided, Senator, that any decisions that are made are also recorded through formal channels. Right. So those were procedures that were implemented. My staff implemented those processes, followed those processes, complied with those processes, and finally, just please. So my communications, to be clear, in a Signal message group were entirely permissible and lawful and did not include classified information.
Well, we will make that determination, because if it's not classified, share the text with the committee. Let me go on. Director Gabbard, you are the security executive and set access guidelines for classified information. Did you contact the defense secretary or others after this specific military planning was put out and say, hey, we should be doing this in a SCIF?
There was no classified material that was shared in that.
So then if there was no classified material, share it with the committee. You can't have it both ways. These are important jobs. This is our national security.